Okay, so let's talk about AI and filmmaking. It feels like generative AI is completely rewriting the rules, right? For everyone from indie creators to the biggest studios, these new tools are promising to basically change the entire creative process. But what's the real story here? How much of this is just hype and what's actually happening for creators on the ground? Let's dive in and find out.
Just look at these characters for a second. Hard to believe, but every single one of them, every bit of detail, every expression was designed and rendered by an AI. This is the kind of incredible power we're talking about. The ability to just dream up entire worlds and the creatures that live in them from nothing more than a few words. It's kind of mind-blowing.
And, this whole transformation, it's about so much more than just making cool pictures. It's about access. It's really about who gets to tell stories. The silver screen used to be this exclusive club for big studios with enormous budgets. But now, AI is handing the keys to individual creators. That barrier to making your vision a reality, it's just crumbling away, day by day. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at how AI is shaking up the planning stages, the creative blueprint. Then we'll get into the actual production tools, the fun stuff that's really changing the game. But then we got to get real. We'll hit the reality check and talk about the biggest hurdle AI faces right now, which is continuity. And we'll wrap it all up by looking at how humans and AI are actually working together to make this all happen. Okay, let's jump in. First stop, the very beginning of any movie, the pre-production phase. And we're going to focus on one key part here, the storyboard, because this is one area where AI is already making a huge, huge difference. So, what's a storyboard? Well, if you're not familiar, it's basically the comic book version of your movie. It's the visual blueprint that makes sure everyone, the director, the camera person, the whole crew, is on the exact same page. And let me tell you, doing this the old-fashioned way, it's a painstaking process that takes forever. Well, that's all changing. Now, with AI, you can literally feed it lines straight from your script, and bam, it spits out detailed, stylized storyboard frames almost instantly. This completely changes the game. It's a massive shortcut for what used to be one of the biggest bottlenecks in the whole creative process.
And the process itself is surprisingly straightforward. You start with your script, you feed those descriptions into an AI, getting really specific with the style and camera angles, and then you just refine the output, adding your own notes. The really wild part? A job that used to take a whole team days, or even weeks, can now get done in a single afternoon.
Okay, so storyboarding is a big one, but AI's influence doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. It's weaving itself into pretty much every single corner of making a movie now. Let's take a look at the whole toolkit. I mean, seriously, it's everywhere. It's helping with script writing, coming up with story ideas, it's creating realistic voiceovers and replacing dialogue. It can handle all the tedious stuff like automated color correction. It's doing special effects, replacing backgrounds, and even composing original music. Heck, it's even helping you chop up your movie for social media. It's like this all-in-one creative assistant. And then there's the big one, the one everyone's talking about. We are now officially in the age of text-to-video generation. We're not just making still images anymore, we're creating entire cinematic shots with movement and everything just from a single line of text. This is the stuff that's all over the headlines, and for good reason. And look, this isn't just some future tech hype. This is happening right now. Check out this data from a recent MIT AI film hackathon. 100% of the films submitted used AI-generated video, and more than half used AI for voice and music. So these aren't just experimental toys anymore. They are core parts of the modern creator's toolkit. Okay, so all of that sounds absolutely amazing, right? But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This is where the hype train kind of hits a wall, and we have to talk about the reality of it all. Creating one awesome-looking shot? AI can do that, no problem. But what about stringing those shots together into a whole story? Can AI maintain consistency across an entire narrative? Can it master that subtle art of continuity that makes a story feel, believable? This right here, this is AI's biggest weakness. As Philip Crew puts it, this is its Achilles heel. These models just have a terrible memory. A character's shirt might suddenly change color. A prop that was on the table is just gone in the next shot.
And these little mistakes might seem small, but they can completely shatter the illusion and pull you right out of the story. And this chart shows you the problem perfectly. On the one hand, you have filmmakers saying that consistent character movement is super important. They rate it a 6.6 out of 7. But then you ask them how good the AI tools are at doing that, they give it a 4.5. That's a massive gap between what creators desperately need and what the tech can actually deliver today.
Hey, remember those incredible characters from the beginning? Let's go back to them. Yeah, they look amazing at first glance, but if you really look closer, you'll see it. The eyes aren't quite the same from frame to frame. The texture of the fur shifts. The proportions are just a little bit off. It's these tiny nagging inconsistencies that make telling a longer story with AI so hard.
This problem is so significant, actually, that a whole new category of tools is popping up just to solve it. See, a general AI can describe scenes, but it has no real concept of visual continuity. So now you're seeing these dedicated platforms being built from the ground up to fix this very problem, with features designed to maintain a consistent style automatically.
So, if AI can't really fly solo just yet, what does that mean for the future of filmmaking? Well, the answer isn't about replacement, it's about collaboration.
Yeah, we're not heading towards a future where you just press a magic button and a perfect movie comes out. That's not the goal. The reality is that the smartest creators are treating AI like a super powerful but kind of quirky and unpredictable creative partner. It's this hybrid approach that's really winning.
And this is what that actually looks like in practice. It's not just one tool, it's a whole pipeline. An artist might generate images with one AI, pass them to another for animation, and so on. But what's the most important part? A human being is in the driver's seat the entire time, guiding it, refining it, and making all the key creative calls at every single step. The film Fish Tank is a perfect real-world example. They used AI to generate 3D models, and it saved them a ton of time, like over 90%. But the raw stuff the AI spit out, it wasn't ready for animation. You still needed a human artist, someone with traditional 3D modeling skills, to come in and clean everything up to make it usable. And this has led to a bunch of different workflows, each with its own pros and cons. You can go for a quick and stylish 2D pipeline, but you don't get much control. Or you can use a complex 3D pipeline for precise camera control, but it takes way more time. There's no single right way to do it. It's all about picking the right mix of tools for the story you want to tell. So the bottom line is this. AI is not some robot director coming to take over Hollywood. The best way to think about it is like it's a new kind of instrument, an incredibly powerful one. But an instrument is useless without a musician. You still need a human artist with skill and vision to actually play it and unlock its potential. Which really leaves us with the big unanswered question, doesn't it? As these tools keep getting better at this breakneck pace, what role are they ultimately going to play? Is AI destined to always be just a tool in the artist's hands? Or could it become something more? A true creative collaborator? Or maybe, just maybe, the next great director?